Well, hello, friends. It has been a minute since I've been in my garden. If you saw yesterday's video, we were planning to go and leave and be on vacation. And by the time you guys saw that, we had actually just gotten back. So I am filming this video today on Monday. And you guys are seeing it on Tuesday, which never happens for our channel. We are usually about 3 to 4 days ahead on videos. And now, because we went on vacation and because life happened and just everything, October's been a really month. It's been a month. I had planned to be able to come back from vacation, be ahead a little bit, take a couple days after we got back from vacation, not have to work. That's not happening. So we're here, and I thought that today's video would just kind of be updates about life, updates about the garden, updates about just kind of everything going on right now. This is the first real video that I'm filming in like super real time. Like I said, I usually like to be about 3 to 5 days at most ahead on videos. So if you see something, for the most part in our garden, it's usually happened about 3 to 5 days ago. But you guys are now seeing this less than 24 hours. It's about 9:30 in the morning right now, and it's actually about 10 o'clock. Whew. Anyways, some life updates around here. Grandpa is doing a lot better. He ended up, he fractured his femur. He put a steel rod in. He is up, he is walking, he is moving. He is in a rehab facility right now for the next few weeks. He is doing actually surprisingly well. They said that he's healing really, really fast. Next step is he's going to go into a care facility, so that way, because he still needs care, but he's going to need less care than he'll get at a rehab facility. And then once he makes some strides in there, then we will figure out the next step. But as of right now, it's just kind of like taking it literally day by day with him. So Grandpa knows everything that has happened with the car accident. It took a while for him to be able to figure out what actually happened, and we had to tell him a couple times, and now he understands. We had Grandma's funeral, and then Brent and I have also been on vacation. We were ready to come home. It was a great vacation, but it was just, we were ready to come home. I broke a toe on vacation. Somebody rear-ended our car on vacation, and just some things didn't go so smoothly. It was just, like I said, October has been a month. It's been a month and a half is what it feels like, jam-packed into 27 days. 27 days. We started the month out with Grandma's car accident. Brent and I were the very first ones on scene for the car accident. That was really rough. I'm still processing with that, still dealing with that. I definitely need to figure out how to deal with that a little bit better. And then other than that, no super major updates. I gotta come back to what is now the secret garden. I gotta do a bunch of weeding back here. I've missed a lot of our fall color, kind of a bummer here. So our secret garden, all of the sweet peas survived while we were gone. The Virginia creeper that I planted, it had fall color when we left, and since then all of the fall color has dropped, which is fine, to be expected. And some fall color is happening, but I need to come in and I need to pull weeds in here. This is pretty bad. This is not happening today. I'm just letting you guys know. Sweet peas all seem to be doing really, really well, and it looks like they've got a decent amount of growth happening on them too. While we were gone, we had some people who house sat for us. They stayed, they watched the dogs, they took care of the garden, they took care of the house, and hands down, best thing that ever happened. They were absolutely amazing the entire time that we were gone. They gave us updates. They totally cared for the dogs. We've had other times that we've taken trips before and always felt a little on edge. We actually ended up just shutting off all of our security cameras after the first day that they were here. We already knew that they were going to be so amazing. And it's great because they're actually moving into our neighborhood now, which is really, really nice. And actually, while I'm filming this, they're house sitting for another one of our neighbors. Fabulous house sitters. This is not what they do. It just kind of like lined up, which was so perfect. And they totally took care of the dogs. Sadie did have a medical issue while we were gone, because it's October, you know, and things are going really great around here. She did have a medical issue while we were away. They totally took care of it, went above and beyond. The wife, she ended up staying up all night. She had said, we didn't know about it until the next morning. She was like, I didn't want to worry you guys in the middle of the night. She goes, we took care of it. Sadie is okay now. But she's done this a couple times. She's had a hard time walking, and then she gets incontinent, and it just turns into a whole ordeal. And so, yeah, they totally helped her out. Sadie is pretty much back to normal with lots of energy, but she'll go probably another like week or two having a hard time walking-ish. She can still walk, but you can tell that she's like sore and things like that. So it's happened a couple times. She is old. She's an older dog. So with older dogs, those are things to be expected. But our house sitters did a fabulous job house sitting for us. And I had asked if they would take care of some things inside the greenhouse for me, just kind of water some things, and not a single thing died. They did so good. Let me show you guys. First off, the iceberg rose. I totally knew it would survive, and it has completely survived. It's put on so much growth. It's kind of crazy. A lot of really, really good growth off of this thing. So that makes me very, very happy. It's doing beautifully. I will figure out a place for it to go. Over here, look at my lupin. These guys are doing really great. It looks like a decent amount came up. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, 5 of them, it looks like did not make it. And then seedlings are slowly coming up. I don't have any germination on the delphinium or the campanula, but the ornamental kale back there is alive. I don't really trust it. It's not looking great. The snapdragons sure are taking their sweet time. Not exactly sure what's going on with these bad boys. I might order a heating pad and put some heat under there. And then over here, Nigella's coming up. Euringium, blue glitter, beautifully. It came up. Half of it came up. That's weird. Larkspur, one of those guys has come up. The black pansies, none of those came up. Those were really old seeds. Violas, most of those. Foxglove decently came up. The ranunculus, they are looking pretty good. This is the Paris and Spring collection. The ranunculus have come up, but the anemones back there, it doesn't look like any of those have sprouted. And then the ranunculus down here have all started to come up also. Everything survived. Look at these guys. Like, they did such a good job taking care of everything and making sure everything was happy and healthy and beautiful. So could not be happier with how these guys took care of all of our plants. They said they were really nervous about the plants, so they really wanted to make sure everything survived, and everything did survive. They did a really good job. And when we had left, the forecast had said that there was going to be nothing but rain and cold and wet days ahead, and we left and it was raining, and the next day it was 80 degrees for the entire time that we were gone. I was like, cool. Super, super cool. And so I was really nervous. I was like, it's gonna get so hot in that greenhouse. I was like, I'm not even gonna ask them to deal with the vents or open it. If everything dies, everything dies. Who cares at this point? I'll go buy everything fresh this year or whatever. And they said that they came out here daily, checked on everything daily. They really did go above and beyond. So that was really, really, really nice to have some people here that we just, I don't know, that just really took care of it, and they took care of our home as if it was their own, which was really, really nice. And it was something that was definitely needed. I needed that. I needed something to go right, I guess, this month. And they did such an amazing job. I really could not be happier with that. And I'm just, I don't know, it was a very pleasant surprise. Not that I thought they were going to do bad, but it was just like, I felt like everything this month has been a steady decline. And so to know that like our pet babies were taken care of, the house was taken care of, the plants were taken care of. We came home, the whole entire house was clean, and Brent and I were like, it doesn't even look like they stayed here. The house is like super clean. So it was fabulous. And they honestly should probably just be doing house sitting as their full-time career, because they went above and beyond for us. So anyways, I think we're going to be taking Halloween day off for a video. It just got really bright. I think we're going to be taking Halloween day off for a video. Just like take one day off, because right now I'm having to film, edit, upload, and I don't like doing that. It just puts a lot of stress on me. I like to be able to have like I film a whole bunch of videos and then I edit for like 3 or 4 days. And then I'll film a whole bunch of videos and then I'll edit for 3 or 4 days. This is what I really like to do. Or Brent and I will both edit for 3 or 4 days. And then we can usually take a weekend off. If I film, edit, upload, same day, it makes it really rough. I know a couple other creators who do that. I don't know how they do that. Props to them. This week and next week is probably going to be a lot of cleanup in the garden. A lot of things are coming out. A lot of things are starting to get nipped by cold weather and slow down. And I like to take care of everything in the garden. I like to take care of everything in the garden before it gets wet and mushy and gross, because then everything just turns out to be mushy and gross when I have to remove it. And I don't like to remove things when they're wet and mushy and gross. So I like to take care of it while it all still looks semi-decent, and then I can remove everything from the garden and not have to touch slimy plants, if that makes sense. We don't get cold enough here, or usually even wet enough here, to be able to like leave everything and have everything like disintegrate and turn back into compost. Usually our winters aren't wet enough or cold enough for that, so I do usually end up having to cut everything and pull everything. And usually same with like leaves. Any leaves that drop, we usually will collect them and then we will go ahead and toss them into our yard waste container, because like I said, things just don't break down here. I had a compost pile for a while. I loved it. If I had room, I'd probably do it again, but it takes so long for things to turn into compost here. It's kind of ridiculous. So this week is probably going to be a lot of things coming out in the garden. It's about 10 o'clock and you can see the garden is still in shade. The sun is so low this time of year. So I'm probably going to end up pulling most things. The gomphrena, you can see it's starting to like decline. So that tells me it's time for it to go. It's starting to really lose its color, lose its oomph. I would like to pull it. It has flopped. We just had a rainstorm. I would like to pull the petunias that are down here. There's no buds left on these guys, so it's time for those to get pulled. This dahlia covered in powdery mildew, which is weird. We really don't deal with powdery mildew here, but because it rained, I think that's why we got powdery mildew. This is one that I started from seed. It's okay. It's not the greatest. I don't love it. So I'm not going to save the tubers from this. I do have a dahlia up there. That one is the Pineland Princess. If you remember, it was actually covered in spider mites and all kinds of issues, and I had just hacked it back to the ground. I didn't even do anything with it. Well, it completely regrew since I hacked it back to the ground, and now it's absolutely massive. I still don't like the dahlia. I don't think it's the most beautiful thing in the world, and so I'm not going to save the tubers from that one either. They're just kind of weird. They're really, really weird looking dahlias. So I don't think I'm going to save those ones. I don't think they're the most beautiful. I will end up saving this one. This one is called Fifi, and it's a beautiful ball type dahlia. They're so pretty. I really, really like this one. So I would like to save this one. I just think it's really pretty. And then a few other plants around here we'll end up saving. Like, I'm going to pull these petunias. These are the wave petunias. Honestly, was not super impressed by those. So I'm going to pull them. I probably won't buy wave petunias again. But basically, this week is going to be a lot of cleanup. I would like to also maybe go do a little bit of plant shopping and things like that. Petunias are getting pulled. A lot of the annuals are going to get pulled. I'm going to keep some that still look really, really great. I'm not going to cut back perennials yet. I will cut those back a little bit later, this fall time, winter time. I do need to get in. I need to pull like Japanese anemones out of here that I pulled them, but I need to re-pull all of the roots. I might save some of the roots and put them in a container. I think that it's really pretty when I see things like that in containers. I do have that big rolled rim. I need to go pick up soil. There's just a lot of moving parts right now. So the garden is looking like it is ready to go to sleep. It's looking like it's about tired, which is okay with me. I'm ready to retire the garden for the year and put the garden to bed. Oh, I do want to show you guys one of my favorite roses is the Claire Austin. I love the rose. It's a climbing rose. I love it because it blooms so much. You get the white iceberg rose, or I'm sorry, the pink iceberg rose. It blooms continuously, like nonstop, and it just gives you a lot of like decent sized flushes. The Claire Austin gives you a really big flush of blooms, and then it doesn't bloom. And then it gives you another really big flush of blooms, and then it doesn't bloom. And then it gives you the most beautiful rose hips. Let me show you. I love to use them in floral arrangements. Before I do that though, update. Coco Loco is doing so good. This happened while we were gone, apparently. Isn't that the most beautiful, like, mauve-y color? Ignore that. Isn't that the most beautiful mauve-y lavender color rose? I think it's so beautiful. Coco Loco, stunning rose. And so obviously she is happy and she's doing okay, even though most of her roots got eaten. Over here, this is the Claire Austin. She's done blooming, but look at these rose hips. So I'll come through and I'll like pop off, like this is a dead one. And then usually I'll come through and you pop off these bits right here on the tips of them. And they're so pretty in floral arrangements. They're absolutely stunning. And so this thing is just, chalked up with rose hips. And so I'll come through, pull all that off or whatever if I decide to use them in floral arrangements. But they're so pretty. And you get these little pops of orange in flower arrangements. I love this rose for that reason. It's also just a really good rose to have in the garden. It's a climbing rose. It's probably not in the best spot anymore. It's been in that spot for I think like 4 years or something like that. When our willow tree was teeny tiny, just a little baby, teeny tiny tree. And so it wasn't casting so much shade. Now it casts a lot of shade over there. And so this year it was not like the best for blooms. It was still a lot of blooms, but not the best for blooms. And so I do think at some point it's gonna need to get moved to a sunnier location, which is fine. That's what happens with plants. You start out with a sunny garden, and as things mature, you end up with a shaded garden. And my garden is starting to turn into a little bit more of a shaded garden, which I don't mind, because when we bought this place, it was nothing but hot, direct sun. So I think that is going to be it for this video. Like I said, didn't really want to do anything in the garden, but I did want to chat with you guys, give you guys an update on just kind of life around here. Brent and I are back to work. Neither of us are sick right now. We were sick this month. October, my favorite month of the year usually. This has been by far the hardest month. Yeah, so I have plans for the garden. I have plans for next year's garden. I have plans for the greenhouse. I have all these plans and a lot of things to have happen. We're just gonna move slow the rest of the year. We've got 2 months left in the year. We're just gonna make it through that. It's gonna be a slow couple months. By the end of the year, I would like to have the inside walls done, the floor done, and the bench in the greenhouse done. Those are gonna be slow projects. I think I've moved a little too fast. And so we're just gonna slow down. The flooring might be over a couple days. The walls inside might be over a couple days. The garden bench might be over a couple days. I did get my sink in. I'm not gonna show it to you yet because it's inside in its box. And I've unboxed it, but just like slightly, just enough to make sure that it wasn't broken. It's beautiful. I'm very excited about it. I gotta figure out the faucet that I want for it. Lots of things happening around here. So I think that's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna go edit this one so you guys can watch something while you're watching this one. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for visiting our garden, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.